Good afternoon and welcome to the final game of our triple-header here on Field 1, opening day of the FGCL, and we will wrap things up with the South Bradenton Skeeters, the designated away team, against the Bradenton Slice. Skeeters coming in, trying to make an immediate statement here today against the Bradenton Slice. We'll go over starting lineup after the first pitch to Ava Castillo. And it's a strike to the left fielder leading off. Adelaide Hawk, the right fielder, is batting second for the Skeeters. Lindsay Chadwick, third base, is in the 3 spot. Alexa Muller is the DP cleaning up. Avery Barton, second base, batting 5th. Annalisa Weinbarger, catcher, in the 6th spot. Jenna Reddens is at short, batting 7th. Avery Miller, first base, batting 8th, and Kate Westmiller, the center fielder, is batting 9th. Do not believe Grace Rourke is hitting for herself, but if she is, we'll let you know about it when the time comes. Emma Myatt, starting pitcher for the Slice, gets a ground ball. The throw to first, just in the nick of time to get Castillo for the first out of the inning. And here is the story for Emma Myatt. Walter State Community College product, righty sophomore last year from Tazewell, Tennessee, and last season a 4.41 ERA, 98 and a third innings, 123 hits, 93 runs, 62 earned, 52 walks, 73 Ks, 11 and 5 record, and a good off speed that she throws for strike one on Adelaide Hawk. Quickly 0-2. Glad that you're with us. Gray Robertson here in the booth alongside official scorer Gracie Ashley. And as usual, if you're tuning in, we want to hear from you. You can tweet me at Gray, Gray_Robertson. We'll shout you out. That one low, 1-2. Maybe inside. So I'm not 100% sure it was low. Hawk out of New Mexico from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Loop to second, catch made. 2 down. Here's the defense for the Slice. In left, you've got Riley Gardner. Center field occupied by Kylie Shaw. Lexi Shaver in right field. Third base, Ella Dodd. Shortstop, Grace Molitor. Second base, Caitlin Nesbitt. First, Layla Lamar. And behind the plate, Emma Brinkman. And a first pitch foul for Lindsay Chadwick. Chadwick out of Jacksonville. Junior last year for the Dolphins. Calls Tampa, Florida home. Last season for Jacksonville, hit 130. 9 RBIs, did have a couple homers and a double. The always important OBP was pretty good at 326. Down the count 1-2 against Myatt. Change hit foul, 1-2. So yeah, if you're tuning in, we want to hear from you. We'll shout you out. You can tweet me, hit me up at Gray, Gray_Robertson. Oh, I missed a tweet earlier from Jimmy Watson. Shout out to Jimmy for tuning in. Called strike 3. Nice start for Myatt. And a scoreless top of the first. Slice offense will get their first cracks of the summer when we return. First time for the Slice at the plate here this summer, and here's the starting lineup for the Bradenton Slice, coached by Brittany Purser. Kylie Shaw, the newest Auburn Tiger, will lead things off with Grace Molitor, the shortstop, batting second. Ella Dodge in the 3 spot. Layla Lamar cleaning up. She's the first baseman. Lexi Shaver, right fielder, bats 5th. Brittany Gingrich, the extra hitter today, is in the 6th spot, with Sydney Watts, the DP, batting 7th. Emma Brinkman catching, batting 8th. Caitlin Nesbitt's second baseman, batting 9th. And Riley Gardner, the left fielder, will turn things over in the 10 spot against Grace Rourke, the Mercer Bear. And Kylie Shaw's first offering is foul. Rourke, sophomore last year for the SoCon Tournament champions out of Frederick, Maryland. Last season, 5-4 record, 4.24 ERA, 62 2/3 innings, 75 hits, 52 runs, 38 earned, 28 walks, and 35 Ks. We have more fun facts about Grace Rourke. We will get to those later on in the show. First, let's talk about Kylie Shaw. Two and one. Like I said, the newest Auburn Tiger. Early enrolled at Florida, then entered the portal and announced yesterday she'll be joining the Malveaux down on the Plains. Last season for Tim Walton's club was 0 for 4 with 14 runs scored. At Evangelical Christian School, had a career .556 batting average. Slap back up the middle. Leadoff single for Kylie Shaw. Just snuck that right under the glove of Rourke. And the rising sophomore stands on first. Defense for the Skeeters. Castillo's in left. Westmiller in center. Hawk in right. Chadwick at third. Reddens at short. Barton at second. Miller at first. Weinbarger behind the dish. First pitch misses outside to Grace Molitor. There's a strike. 1-1. Molitor, a freshman last year for Arizona State. Good year for the Sun Devils. Nice stop at third. One play. And it's made to get the out as Shaw takes second. Nicely done by Chadwick. But up comes Ella Dodge. Man, what an end of the year she had with the Tennessee Lady Vols. As consistent a bat for Karen Weekly as they had in the lineup in the postseason. Redshirt freshman last year out of right here in Bradenton. Had that big home run in Supers against Nebraska. Lace to first, and the throw won't get Shaw. That was absolutely tattooed. But 2 down. Sure, we'll talk about Tennessee later on today. A lot of stuff in the news right now. Maybe we'll dive into it later. Who's to say? Layla Lamar. Pitch misses just inside. Another young player I'm really excited to see this summer. Currently in the transfer portal after spending her freshman year at Florida. Cary, North Carolina native. Committed to Florida as a 6th grader back in 2018, right before the rules changed, and She'll send that to short. She's gonna get called out. And I think we're gonna have a challenge. All right. This is why we have the challenge system. We're gonna take a look. And we'll mute real quick while I ask Gracie to come over here. Gracie, come here.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't.
Okay, she's out. We took a look at it. There was nothing definitive from the camera angle that we had. So we go to the first, or I should say the second inning, with Layla Omar out on the 6-3 ground out. On to the second here on field one. Well, after the first official challenge on field one was upheld, did not have a clear definitive review to change it, and we're not just going to change it based on what we think. We've got 4, 5, 6 due up for the Skeeters here in the second inning against Emma Myatt. And it's ball one to Alexa Muller. And that'll squeeze through the 3-4 hole. So a base hit for the recent first year at Harvard. And so there you see running over at first base. Avery Barton, first pitch popped up. We've seen the wind cause havoc on plays like that, but no dice there. One down. Morgan Kostler back yet again, the head coach of the Skeeters. There she comes back into frame in the third base coaching box. She's been here nearly every summer for South Bradenton. And Lisa Weinbarger takes ball 1. The other thing about these challenges, folks, again, you know, I have a look, Tom has a look on each field. One out of Weinbarger. Change for a strike. If we can't tell after 3 looks, we're not sitting here for 15 minutes. This is not that. We're going to make the clear play. If it's not clear, we're keeping with what the call is on the field. That's it. As someone who has covered this sport for a while and unfortunately been there for a lot of the lengthy reviews, I'm good. That's not what I would like to be doing. Weinbarger off the glove of Myatt. That gets 1. Double play! Wow, the 1-4-6-3 double play ends the inning. Nice job by the middles for the slice. Nesbitt at second, Molitor at short, and then Lamar with the stretch to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Bottom 2, 5, 6, 7 for the slice. Shaver, Gingrich, and Watts against Grace Rourke. And ball 1 to one of our media people, Lexi Shaver. Is going to be helping put some stuff out on socials. Is that on TikTok, Gracie? Twitter? Instagram. Check the FGCL Insta. Oh, and she can hit too. Leadoff single for Lexi Shaver. And that'll work. Kennesaw State rising junior out of Utah stands on first base for Brittany Gingrich. Ball 1 to the portaling rising sophomore from Lees McRae College. Now 2-0 on Gingrich. Last year, the St. Petersburg, Florida native hit .306 with 8 RBIs and a very nice .427 OBP. Three and one. On the ground to short. Oh, it's bobbled and dropped. And E4. I beg your pardon. Yes, E4 on Barton. Put 2 on, nobody out. And in steps the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, Sydney Watts. Powerful foul ball. 0-2. Watts, a freshman last year from Youngstown, Ohio. 2024 Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year. Should see her in the circle a little bit later on in this ball game. Full count. She went. Strikeout secured for Rourke, 1 down. First pitch ball to Emma Brinkman. Brinkman as maybe some dust got in the eye of the catcher, Weinbarger. Brinkman recently entered in the portal from Kennesaw State, sophomore last year out of Holly Springs, Georgia. Lace to left, and it burns the left fielder. Castillo was playing shallow. Shaver will score. It's an RBI double. Brinkman just absolutely smoked that out to left field. And a run in for the slice. With just the 1 out. Caitlin Nesbitt, ground ball to third. A look, a throw back to third will get her. Oh, I love it. Good stuff. Chadwick kind of faked and was ready to throw to first and then threw it back to the covering Reddens, who got the tag on Gingrich. Out number 2 recorded, but a heady second out. And here's the 10-hitter Riley Gardner. She also recently entered the portal. Long time FGCL mainstay, and by long time I mean she played first in this league a long time ago. 2022 was a slice. At the time was transferring from Illinois State, went to Minnesota. Now transferring from Minnesota for her final year. And such a just fun personality. So good to see her yesterday. That's fair ball. Throw to first, still in the inning. How about the inning for Chadwick at the hot corner? Nicely done to limit the damage, but a run is in on the RBI double from Emma Brinkman. We go to the third. 1-0 slice here on field 1. We've played 2, 1-0 slice over the Skeeters. Game 1 of 2 here this weekend. Opening weekend in the FGCL. Due up for the Skeeters, 7-8-9. Reddens, Miller, Westmiller. Good stuff from Emma Myatt in the circle so far for the slice. Held on to that change a hair too long for ball 1 to Jenna Redders. I went inside, 2-0 on Redders. I think I called her Reddens, and that's my bad because I can't read my own sloppy handwriting on the scorebook. Jenna Redders is her name, and she's pretty darn good. There you go. Double to the, well, they'll say, and by they I mean me, just a single because it was a nice play in left by Gardner to cut it off. Either way, it's a leadoff base hit as I try to remember how to talk again for game 3. And a single to start the third for the Skeeters. So Redders aboard. And here's Avery Miller. Ball 1. Miller out of Longwood. Smoked and fair down the left field line. All the way to the fence. This is going to drive in Redders. The plate is not in time. Avery Miller with the RBI double. Just like that, this game is tied. Miller just crept that pass dodge at third base. And Gardner couldn't get it before it got all the way to the fence. Instantly, this game is even. Now Westmiller, trouble. Nice play. Ooh, they'll say safe. Runners on the corners, nobody out. So they're on the corners, nobody out. Infield single for Kate Westmiller. And the first pitch to Eva Castillo is caught in left for the first out. I'm going to bring up Adelaide Hawk, who popped out in the first. This game is tied at 1. Runners on the corners for Hawk, who tomahawks that to third, and that is out number 2. That is 2 outs. Everybody go back. All right. Happy first day to us all. And by the way, heads up base running by Westmiller, who just was like, all right, I'm going to go to second. It would be interesting to see if she left early, but no, I'm not playing that game. Second and third, 2 outs. With Lindsay Chadwick, who struck out in the first inning. It's a nice changeup. 1-2. And really whipping in now. That's going to make an impact on this play. Long run for Shaw, but she's able to collect. Inning over, but a run in for the Skeeters. Buckle up, we got a good one. 1-1 going to the bottom of the third. Opening day of the FGCL. Top of the order for the slice and the bottom of the third. 1-1 ball game here in the opener this summer for both teams. Give you a quick look-see around the diamond as Kylie Shaw steps in. Curls in for strike one. Shaw singled in the first. Slap to short. The throw is in time. From the shortstop, Redders. The first out. Grace Molitor grounded out her first time up. Grace Rourke is really settled into this ball game. And as I say that, it's caught in center. Laced by Molitor, robbed by Westmiller, 2 down. Just like that, base is clear for Ella Dodge. She absolutely ripped one, but it was caught at first. Last time up. Three and out. Dodge, like I was talking about earlier, part of that Women's College World Series run for Tennessee. Little out in front of that one. And an easy play for Miller at first. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Grace Rourke. We've played 3. We're tied at 1. Off to the 4th here at Field 1.
this every time.
Well, we go to the fourth tie ball game. 4-5-6 due up for the Skeeters. First pitch ball from Myatt. It's Muller, Barton, and Weinbarger. Alexa Muller singled in the second. Time called. Just outside, 2-0. Muller, as I mentioned, first year is what they call them last year at Harvard, a.k.a. a freshman. Calls Palm Beach Gardens home. Had a great year for Harvard. Hit 368, 20 RBIs, 468 OBP. Sent to left. Gardner's going to track it for the first out. Checking Twitter. I'm not getting any tweets during this game. You can tweet me at Gray, Gray _ Robertson. We'd love to shout you out if you're tuning in. Avery Barton popped out in the second. Another Mercer Bear who's here out of Monticello, Georgia. Junior last year, who struggled at the plate, coming back to get some of her mojo going ahead of her senior year. Also told me, it says on the website, her dream was to work for the FBI, but she's changing it, looking elsewhere. Ooh. Full count. Waits on the change. That'll be foul. In case you're curious about the other field, they're in the third. Queens and Impact are scoreless. Here it's also tied at 1. So that is sent way up in the air. Catch made by Shaw. 2 down. And Lisa Weinbarger hit into that double play in the second. First pitch ball. Weinbarger, another returner. She's been in the FGCL before. Currently at Winthrop. Redshirt junior last season. Started career at Coastal Carolina in this past year in the Big South. Hit 238 for Winthrop, 6 RBIs, a homer, a triple, 3 doubles as well. And she gets a hold of that to left field. Weinbarger leaves the yard. First homer of the summer for the Skeeters. And they grab the lead here in the fourth. Annalisa Weinbarger just absolutely ripped that one. Got a pitch up, a mistake, and even with that wind blowing hard in, still had the pop to get it out of the yard. Have not seen many home runs on this field. Can't speak for the other one, but it's been hard to get it out here today. Weinbarger got all of it. And now 2-1 Skeeters as Jenna Redders out of Green Bay takes the first pitch high and tight. Singleton scored in the third. Out to center. Shaw is there. The damage is just 1 run, but it gives the Skeeters a 2-1 advantage as we go to the bottom of the fourth here on field 1. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Skeeters with a 2-1 lead thanks to Annalisa Weinbarger's solo shot. Slice will have the heart of the order. 4-5-6 due up to face a new pitcher, Miranda Gill. Getting her first action here this summer. Another returner to the FGCL. Gill out of Weber, sophomore last year. Calls Sarasota, Florida home. And Layla Lamar tomahawks that to center and out. Immediate answer. Layla Lamar. No review needed this time. We're tied at 2 after a solo shot. Well, if Coach Young at Duke is tuning in, hello. What a shot from her daughter, Layla Lamar. Again, amazing. The wind, this is not a hitter's ballpark today, but a couple just absolute blasts in the last half innings. And now, our interview correspondent, Lexi Shaver, who singled and scored in the second. Two 2-0 on Shaver. Oh, wow, just a bad hop right over the glove of Tegan Riley at third base. Not much to be done about that. And Shaver follows up the home run with a single. Two for 2 day for Lexi Shaver. Now Shaver takes off. The throw scoots out to center field. Stolen base for Shaver. And a ball to Brittany Gingrich. And now Morgan Kostler is going to call time. And then we'll bring up the entire multicam view because this feels like the only actual time during a broadcast where that would make sense. You can see the conferences everywhere. including for the head coach of the Slice, who we haven't really talked about, Brittany Purser. She's already used her challenge. It was unsuccessful. Walter State head coach, previously an assistant at St. John's River State. Played at North Florida and Lynn. Having a quick word with Gingrich, who reached on an error in the second. Feels like something's brewing for the Slice. Line for Rourke, who got the start for the Skeeters. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, and a K. Good day. And if you missed any of our earlier games, that is the deal. I mean, you're going to see a lot of shifting and moving throughout the regular season. Postseason, all bets are off. We've seen teams ride a single arm. But everybody's going to get looks and opportunities right up until the playoffs. Foul ball. Oh, we have our first tweet, but first the payoff. Another foul ball. Holly Castillo tuning in, saying hello from Skeeter Mom. I have to assume that would be the mother of Ava Castillo. Otherwise, what a bizarre coincidence. Thanks for tuning in, Holly. Glad you're here. Hope you're here all summer. Another 3-2 to Gingrich. High, ball 4. First and second, nobody out. Sydney Watts, who struck out in the second inning, try and conjure up something to at least move the runners here. Two and one. Hard chopper. Riley has one play. No one was covering third. And it is indeed a productive out for Watts. Second and third, one gone. It brings up Emma Brinkman, who had that RBI double. Fair ball down the third base line. 1 run is in. Check that. Our field ump is going to say that hit the ball, or I should say hit the runner in fair territory. They're going to check, and unfortunately, Brittany's out of challenges because she used that one in the first. And now what? So it looks like after the conference, they're going to say it didn't hit her. And let me get the rule book. Okay, I think they did it right. So it is a 2 RBI double for Brinkman. The call was blown dead after Shaber had scored, and Gingrich was well on her way home. So I'll pull it up. We'll get there. Either way, it's 4-2 slice. Nesbitt out at first. 2 away. First pitch strike to Riley Gardner. She grounded out in the second inning. And that just misses the camera. 0-2. 4-2 slice on the 2 RBI double by Brinkman. Gardner to left. Catch will be made. Side retired. 4-2 slice after the Brinkman play, and we go to the fifth. Skeeters will look to answer when we come back. Here we are, fifth inning. Slice up 4-2 on the Skeeters. Myatt back out to work in the circle, but a couple shifts around her. Gingrich is now at third in for Dodge, who's moved to the extra hitter spot. And the Skeeters will have the part of the order that did some work in the third inning. 8-9-1, Miller, Westmiller, and Castillo. First pitch ball to Avery Miller. RBI double in the third. Now a 2-0 count. 3-0. I think Miller will be taking, and she'll take ball 4. That is not what the Slice wanted. Leadoff walk. And Kate Westmiller, who had the infield single in the 3rd. Over to short. The throw is going to get away. Molitor. I don't know whether that was because Nesbitt was so late or what, but that was just a little bit of a lack of communication. Either way, it's going to have to go down as an E6. First and second, nobody out. Bunt, Castillo, good one. Throw, got under the glove of Lamar. A run will score. The Skeeters take advantage of some defensive miscues. The throwing error makes it 4-3 Slice. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Adelaide Hawk. Smoke to left. Burned in left. Gardner came in. The Skeeters will take the lead. 2 RBI double. Adelaide Hawk. And it's all just happened so fast here in the 5th. 5-4 Skeeters in command. And still Narian out to be found. Tegan Riley will get her first AB. Back this year from Lynn. Sophomore last year from Tampa, Florida. Hit 270 with 26 RBIs for Lynn. Takes a strike there, 2-1. I get the feeling, however, I'll just say this. I don't think we're done scoring-wise. It doesn't feel like that type of game. Or lead change-wise, honestly. This one could go back and forth. Off-speed foul, full count. Myatt absolutely needs an out. She won't get it. Ball 4. And a pitching change incoming for the Slice. We'll tell you about the new hurler. 5-4 Skeeters. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the 5th. The new pitcher for the Slice with runners on first and second, nobody out, is Sydney Watts out of Georgia Tech. We talked about her. She's been hitting. We'll give you your pitching numbers as well. First batter she's facing is Alexa Muller, who fouls off the first pitch. Ooh, whose car did that hit? Was it mine? Point to the car. Hold on, everyone. The truck? Not mine. Okay, great. Sydney Watts. Last year, Georgia Tech, 5.83 ERA, 42 innings, 47 hits, 40 runs, 35 earned, 18 walks, 38 Ks. Now 1-1 on Muller, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. One and two. Line for Emma Myatt, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, currently 2 earned. We'll double check the math. 2 walks and a strikeout. Watts now trying to get through this fifth, give her offense a shot to answer back just down a run. Another foul ball. Swing and a miss. Big first strikeout. And a much needed one. Good job by Watts coming in and settling things down. Now to face Avery Barton, who's 0 for 2. Good movement on that one, 0-1. Watts, I mentioned it earlier, was the Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2024. It's also a Max Preps First Team All-American in high school, NFCA First Team All-American. And that's a strikeout. The pass ball will move both runners forward, but back-to-back Ks for Watts. So second and third for the Skeeters with 2 gone. Here's the home run hitter, Annalisa Weinbarger. She hit into that double play in the second. That felt like a real momentum shifter, and then atoned for it big time with a solo blast in the fourth. One and two. will be the top of the order for the Slice in the home half of the fifth. So they can just keep it at a one-run deficit. Feels like they'll have a shot to answer. And how about Watts? She made sure it was a one-run deficit by striking out the side. 2 left stranded, 5-4 Skeeters go into the bottom of the fifth in this back and forth game 3 of our triple header. All right, let's see what the Slice can do here in the bottom of the fifth, down by a run. Top of the order. Shaw, Molitor, Dodge. Foul ball. Kylie Shaw, 1 for 2, single and a ground out. Brittany Purser still perusing around the third base coaching box. Shaw ready. Went after it, tried to bunt, 2-2. Also would have been a strike, as confirmed by the home plate umpire. Slapped over the head of the shortstop and out to center field, and Shaw is looking for 2. Oh, the speed. Leadoff double for Shaw. Just never stopped. And that puts the tying run immediately in scoring position. And Grace Molitor has hit it well, but doesn't have a hit to show for it. 0 for 2 with a ground ball and then that diving catch in center. It was a great layout by Wes Miller. Now Molitor will lay down a bunt. Gill's throw to first will get her, but it's a sacrifice and well executed. That's really good execution for day 1. And here is Ella Dodge. Another one who's hit the ball well. 0 for 2 though, with a line out and a ground out. And stopped at first by Miller, but that'll do the job. Good job by Miller to make sure it wasn't a hit, but it's an RBI ground out to tie this game at 5. And the whole reason this game is tied is because Shaw stretched that into a double. Without that hustle play, Shaw is at best at third base right now with 2 outs. Layla Lamar Homered her last time up. She'll pop this up to second. Inning over. But the top of the order does manufacture after the leadoff double from Shaw. An RBI ground out. Ties this game at 5 after 5 here on field 1. Going to the 6th, tied up at 5. What a ball game. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Skeeters. Redders, Miller, Wes Miller. This part of the order has been really good for the Skeeters here today. Starting up with Jenna Redders, who's 1 for 2. Sydney Watts. First pitch goes high on the rise, 1-0. We did get another tweet. I'll pull it up. Two now. Michelle Yarnell tuning in, watching from Texas. Hello, Michelle. Glad you're here. Thank you for hanging out with me, Gray Robertson, producer Gracie, up here in the booth. Tie ball game in the 6th. And quickly, Brittany Purser. I think they're running over the signals, making sure everybody knows what's up. Gotta double check. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Weird little blooper that Lamar will take care of. First out recorded. Here's 8 and 9. 8-hitter Avery Miller, who's reached twice. RBI double and a walk. She's scored. 8 and 9 today have reached all 4 times. Oh and 1 to Miller. I beg your pardon, 1 and 0 to Miller. I really like the stuff I'm seeing from Watts. The movement's pretty good. The location, though, she's hitting her spots right now. And a change in velocity as well from Maya. You can see a lot of these swings a little behind. 1 and 2. Looks like Morgan Kostler is going to call time. Off speed misses, 2 and 2. Watts part of that Georgia Tech program, coached by Eileen Morales. Ooh, boy. Full count. It's a great spot. I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't even get a swing from Miller right there. Payoff. Foul. Kind of, you get the vibe that this one has one more twist in it. By far the most entertaining of the game of the day here on Field 1. We've seen a run rule. We've seen a late explosion from the Sea Cows to beat the Pioneers. Right now tied at 5 in the 6th. Another foul ball. You can also see Miller slowly in this at-bat making the adjustment. Ball 4. That is a heck of a walk by Avery Miller. Really well done. And yet again, this bottom of the order is proving a nuisance for slice pitching. Can Kate Westmiller of a 9-hole keep it up? She's reached twice on a single and an error. She's scored once. Going back-to-back Longwood Lancers. And the bottom of the order, it's worked today, but now 0-2. Got her. Nice pitch by Watts. 4th strikeout in relief, 2 away. Back to the top of the order with Ava Castillo. 0 for 3, but has scored a run. She reached on an error in the 5th. Ground out and a foul out in the other at-bats. Slapped and missed, 1-1. That one actually was close to my car. Still 1-2. I am going to need to park elsewhere the rest of the summer. We will learn today. Got her. Oh, man, Sydney Watts. That is so good. 5 strikeouts in relief. Still tied at 5. Going to the bottom of the 6th. The slice will have the heart of the order, 5, 6, 7, due up on the other side. Bottom 6, slice with 5, 6, 7, Shaver, Gingrich, Watts. And they will face a new pitcher for the Skeeters as Brooks Steinhorst, the rising junior out of Madison from Wisconsin. From Wisconsin, the state, out of Madison, the school. She gets her first look here this summer. Last season for Madison, 3.33 ERA, 11-6 record. 103 innings, 131 hits, 76 runs, 49 earned, 39 walks, 64 Ks. Also hit it pretty well. So we'll probably see her at the plate at some point here this summer. Maybe today. Shaver has reached twice. Couple singles, couple runs scored. Three and one. Ball 4. And a leadoff walk will put the go-ahead run on base for the slice. Steinhorst in for Miranda Gill, who went 2 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 1 walk, no Ks. And Shaver does have a stolen base today. Wouldn't be shocked if she took off. Brittany Gingrich will face Steinhorst now. Reached on an error in the 2nd. Walked and scored in the 4th. Middle of the order has done the work for the slice offense for the most part. That was low for ball 1. Good one by Gingrich. No one was at second, so the throw to secure the sacrifice will get the first out. Runner moves. I'll tell you what, Chadwick was ready to fire to second, but then Muller was having to go cover third because nobody was there. That might be an actual play that some of these teams might have in the arsenal later on in the summer, but communication not there yet. It's the first day, and they've had one practice day. Sydney Watts 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. On deck, you've got Emma Brinkman, who's driven in 3 here in this game. Nice change, 1 and 2. Full count. Watts, back up the middle. Shaver rounds third. The slice will grab the lead. Sydney Watts has stepped up in the late stages. It's 6-5 here in the 6th. Ella Dodge will come on to run for the pitcher Watts, who has quite suddenly become the story. As great as Brinkman has been, what Watts did in the circle and now at the plate has changed this game. 6-5 slice. Now Emma Brinkman has the opportunity to say, anything you can do, I can do better. 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. She's driven in 3 runs. That got away. Wild pitch. And Dodge, was heading around second and tripped. And she will army crawl back to second base. They'll check on everybody. Steinhorst, Dodge, the whole gang. Ahead of this 1 and 2 to Brinkman. Well, conversations break up. Dodge at second. Slice invalids 6-5. And a 1-2 count on Brinkman. Out in front. Another foul. Well, keep in mind the schedule on field is the same tomorrow, just a couple rotating times. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Sea Cows and Nears. This matchup at noon tomorrow. And at 2:30 it'll be Mox and Squeeze. Good take, 2 and 2. Sorry, 3 and 2. Beg your pardon. Brinkman will hunt for the gap and find the fence. Dodge around third, coming to score. Brinkman's got another RBI double. 3 doubles, 4 ribbies. It's 7-5 Slice. I don't know how you hold her to a single. It has literally not been done here today. Now Caitlin Nesbitt, who's been fairly aggressive in her ABs, she'll take ball 1. Nesbitt, an incoming freshman, going to play at Liberty. Initially it was Duke, decommitted, committed to Liberty. Dublin, Georgia native at a Dublin high school. But yeah, looking ahead, the Skeeters will have 2-3-4 due up in the 7th. So this game is far from over. Off the glove of Chadwick at third. Infield single for Nesbitt. They're on the corners. Gingrich will come out and run for Brinkman. And Riley Gardner, who's 0 for 2, will look to maybe push that dagger a little deeper here in the 6th. Ground out and a fly out. Strike 1. Runner goes, the throw down, gets out to center field. And in comes Gingrich on the throwing error. Stolen base for Nesbitt, and then Gingrich scores on the E2. Eight 5 now. Gardner. Tough play. Got her. Throw over to third. That could have been dangerous. 2 down. Back to the top of the order with Kylie Shaw. 2 for 3. Double, single, run scored, and a ground out thrown in there as well. Hitting away this time. Take strike 1. Got a very speedy player in Nesbitt over at third base. And a speedy player at the plate. Got to be careful. 2-2 for Shaw. Smoked out to center. That'll find its way to the wall. Nesbitt scores. Didn't even have to really run. Just strolled right in. Another double for Shaw. She's 3 for 4. And it's a 4-run lead for the Slice. Nice ball game. Kylie Shaw, that's probably going to be your leadoff for the Slice once we get to the postseason and probably the majority of the summer. Grace Molitor, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. 1-1. Two and two. Full count. Right up the middle. Shaw will score with ease. RBI single for Molitor. 10-5 Slice. A 5 spot here in the 6th. Now time called. Steinhorst can get some water real quick. Just felt like the Slice were threatening to break through so many times in this game, and finally it's all happened here in the 6th. Now the Skeeters, like I mentioned not long ago, they're going to have 2, 3, 4 to start in the 7th. They will need to pass the baton, but they've also proven they can do that here in this game. First things first, though, they've got to get out number 3. And here's Ella Dodge, who's 0 for 3 with an RBI. Not much for Weinbarger to do as Molitor takes second. Thing about Ella Dodge, she had such a great end of the year, and one of the things that struck me most, her consistency. It felt like almost every game the last 15 she had a hit. It was oftentimes just one hit, just a 1 for 3 day, but she just always found a way to reach, and it makes you think she's kind of due here. 0 for 3, but here's the 2-2. Kind of a tough roller that Steinhorst makes look pretty easy. Inning over, but a massive inning for the Slice. 5 runs in. Skeeters will need to mount quite the comeback in the 7th on the other side. All right, let's see what the Skeeters can conjure up here in the 7th. They're down by 5, 10-5 slice. But they've got 2, 3, 4. Hawk, Chadwick, who's re-entered, and Muller. Sydney Watts has spun it beautifully. But, I don't know, we've seen spooky 7ths before today. Adelaide Hawk will start. Jam job, that'll fall foul. Hawk is 1 for 3, 2 RBI double in the 5th, line out and a pop out elsewhere. To second, Nesbitt, 1 down. There was a half second there where off the bat, I thought that might have a little bit more juice, but it just kind of checked up. Nesbitt got there. And here's Lindsay Chadwick, who re-entered 0 for 2 before she was lifted for Tegan Riley. Strikeout and a flyout. Ooh, that comes in and hits her. Well, by hook or by crook, Chadwick's on first. Kind of one of the really first loose pitches we've seen from Sydney Watts. It's probably in line to be player of the game right now. Her or Brinkman, but I would lean Watts. We'll talk about it. Alexa Muller. That's back. Wild pitch puts a runner in scoring position. Another one gets away. Well, this has happened very quickly. I'm probably take sign if I'm Muller until a strike is thrown by Watts. There you go. Nice, 2-2. Just kind of 3 pitches from Watts, where she just let us slip a bit and then quickly found it yet again. Time called by Muller. Called strike 3. Oh, that's nasty. It's almost like she set a trap with the wild pitches and then just pinpoint accuracy. 3 straight strikes, 2 down. Avery Barton will try and keep the game alive. Oh for 3 with a pop out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Chadwick hanging out at third base, trying to find a way home, give the Skeeters a chance to string something together here in the 7th. Sydney Watts has been a little bit more productively wild in the 7th, but then has found strikes when she's needed them the most. Chadwick at third, the 3-0, ball 4. What an interesting inning. Ground out, hit by pitch, strikeout looking, walk. Couple wild pitches thrown in. Now comes Brittany Purser. The other thing, too, about the Summer League, not only is today the second day all these kids have known each other, it's also the second day the coaches have seen a lot of these players. They might have talked to them, but, for the most part, they're learning as well about what their players can do, who should go where in the lineup, who should go where defensively, how long can a pitcher go, what pitches should you and shouldn't you call in the big moments. See what the pitch call is against Annalisa Weinbarger, who's already left the yard today. 1 for 3 with a solo homer. One time she faced Watt, she struck out. First pitch foul. Weinbarger sends it way in the air. Gardner will make the catch, and that's the ball game. Nice job by Watts getting out of trouble. And the Slice start the season 1-0 with a 10-5 victory over the Skeeters. Your winning pitcher is indeed Sydney Watts. Brooke Steinhorst takes the loss. And whether it's Watts, who you want to highlight for what she did in relief, striking out 6 and getting out of that dicey second and third nobody out moment in the 5th. Also had the go-ahead RBI. Or you want to talk about Emma Brinkman, who was 3 for 3 with 3 doubles and 4 ribbies. Either way, it was a pretty complete victory for the Slice, and they'll get another crack at the Skeeters tomorrow in Game 2 of the series. A reminder of the schedule for Saturday, June 14th. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on Field 1, Sea Cows at Pioneers. Noon Eastern on Field 1, Skeeters at Slice. 2:30 Eastern on Field 1, River Mocs at Squeeze. And I'll be here along with, I believe, Gracie. We'll be back here yet again to guide you through it here on the American Collegiate League website and through all of our various streaming partners to bring FGCL softball to you wherever you are around the world. So for official scorer, producer, and softball confidant Gracie Ashley, for everyone from the FGCL, for all 6 teams you saw here on Field 1, I'm Gray Robertson saying so long as the Slice cap off our tripleheader with a 10-5 win over the Skeeters. We'll see you bright and early for the second day of the summer. 9:30 Eastern is when we kick it off. We'll see you then, everybody. Have a good afternoon.